So guys, in the last session, we have completed up setting up ledger, isn't it? In multi-organization setup, we have multiple companies created. Two companies is nothing but multiple, right? Two legal entities. And these two legal entities are associated to one ledger. Excuse me. These two legal entities are associated to one ledger, isn't it? Now we can see, having this ledger, we can post entries. Having this ledger, we can create journals and we can post. But you can't do transactions. Transactions cannot be done. If you want to do transactions from AP, AR, or any subledger module, you must have operating unit. Because all subledger modules operate from the operating unit. All subledger modules operate through operating unit. So operating units are required. Operating units are required to create, to do any transactions. But for accounting, you don't require operating unit. You can do accounting through ledger directly. But you can't create transaction. Directly, you can create debit account, credit account. But you want to process payment, you want to process invoice, this you can't do. Okay. And to create operating unit, see, operating unit can be many. Like one company may have 30 operating units, 10 operating units, 15 operating units, 2 or 3, 5, right? We have two companies. For two companies, we are going to set up operating units. And to set up operating units, Oracle requires, to set up an operating unit, Oracle requires business group. Without business group, system don't allow. Oracle do not allow you to set up operating units. So we are done with legal entities. We are done with ledger. Now to create operating units, we require business group. See, business group creation, we can do only from HR responsibility. Only from HR. Normally, as a financial consultant, we don't create. In implementation project, we don't create business group. We ask HR team to business group and provide to us. And then we use business group wherever it is required in financial modules. Now I am setting up business group because we need it to create operating units. We need it to create operating units. Only setting up business group. Okay. And you know that we have HR responsibility already created, isn't it? While creating a HR responsibility. Let's go with HR responsibility. See guys, have many setups. So once you create a business group, there are many options that you need to set up. Normally HR people set up. There are many options need to set up by HR. We are not set up things when we are going to the things which are mandatory. setups which are not mandatory will not touch those because it is HR role, right? See, when setting up Ledger, yes, we have discussed in detail what is what, and I have shown you in detail why we do the setup. But while setting up business group, you don't require to know in detail, and you don't require to know all this. You need to know what all required to set up business group to practice on financial modules. So only those mandatory things are what is organization, description. Before setting up business group, you want a location, you can create from the location. But we'll use the same legal entity location, work structures, organization, description. Click on new. It's a new business group. Click on new. The name of the business group, Honor business group. Type is not required, but if you want, you can select type of organization. See, business group is also a part of organization. So this is one of the organization in organization structures. So business group. See, there are many organizations to select here. Effective date, I'll make it 1st January 2018. I mean, effective date can be today's date also. From the day you're using, that day you have to write here. From the day you're going to use this business group, that date you need to write here. Location. See, we don't have location created in HR. But here you can see all the locations which are there in database. All the locations, see a table for the address database. So all addresses which are there in location table, it will display here. And let us find the one we have created for legal entity. I am selecting here Honor Hyderabad. And is it an internal or external? What is external? See, HR people create organizations which are internal or organizations which are external. Like for example, HR people provide benefits. Like through HR, you get a benefits of insurance. So insurance providers, they are internal or they are external? External. But for employee, it's an internal. I mean, employee thinks that company is providing me insurance through some third party. So third party is not giving you directly. Company is giving you, and company is paying some money to third party every year or every month, isn't it? So such type of organizations also you can create as external organizations. Business group, what do you think? Is it an internal or external? It's the internal. Business group is mine. It is not an insurance provider or it is not a recruitment agency, right? It is part of my business. Tata Groups, owned by Tata. TCS, all this comes under, I mean, TCS, Tata Motors, all this comes under Tata. So Tata Groups is internal or external for Tata? Internal location. When Tata creates insurance company, let's say Tata is providing insurance from UHG. So UHG as a company they create, UHG as an organization they create in system. And that UHG organization they will is going to be external. Got it? Okay. After you assign address, this address, you have to save the information. But even after saving, system don't know. But even after saving, system don't know this as a business group. System don't know this as a business group even after saving. System considers this organization as business group. Okay. So once you classify your organization, then system consider this as a business group. If you don't classify it as business group, system do not consider as business group. Clear? So once you classify it as business group, click on others, and under this others, you have many setups to complete. See, like reporting status, reporting category, recruitment, termination rule, payroll, payslip, all related to HR. All these setups are related to HR. Payroll, payslip, recruitment, reporting categories, preference status, termination rule, time management. These all finance people do. Workday information. Who do this? HR. These all terminologies are related to HR, right? Not finance. That is why I said business group, all setups are related to HR. Now here, there is one setup that is mandatory, business group information. If you do not complete this business group information, you can't use this business group. See, other setups are not required. You can leave it. But business group information, if you don't set up, this business group is not in use. You have to complete this business group information setup. Go to business group information, and you have a white color field. You have a white color blank field. Just click on that white color blank field. And it opens another form where you need to write business group information. Business group short name. I'll take it as Honor BG. Employee number. See how employee number generation they want, like how they want to create. Automatic or manual. Let us take automatic. When HR consultant discuss with, like chart of account to create, we discuss with finance team. Same way HR consultant discuss with HR team to decide these options. Application number generation, automatic, contingent worker. It is nothing but daily wages employees. Contract employees. Automatic. Great flex field structure. See, we have used accounting flex field to create chart of account, if you remember. How we have created chart of account. We have created chart of account structure under some flex field. The flex field is accounting flex field. Same way for HR also, like accounting require data, HR also require data. Data is required by HR team also, right? Grades, jobs, positions, group, employee group to define. So these all flex field structures they define in some flex fields. And what all flex fields they are going to use, they need to set up here first. And then they can define data in flex field. See, normally we create chart of account and then we use that chart of account in ledger, right? But in HR, first you have to use flex field and then you can create your structures. First use flex fields and then you can create structures. Clear? Great Flexfield structure. Structure name is Great Flexfield. Group Flexfield. It is nothing but people group Flexfield. Employee group. Employee group. In this Great Flexfield, HR team can define grades. In people group, HR team can define employee groups, job Flexfield, costing Flexfield, cost allocation Flexfield, position Flexfield to define positions, competence Flexfield, legislation code is India, and currency is INR. From where the group is started, India, and the currency is INR. Clear? Yeah. Done? Click OK, and again OK. Do you want to save the changes you have made? Yes. And here we are done with defining business group. We have many options to set up, but as I said, those are not required. HR team, they do. HR consultant, they do all the setups. But whatever is required to use business group, we have done those. After you click OK, just close this form, and we are done with business group definition. We have a business group to use now. Now let's create operating units. To create operating units, go back to GL responsibility. Switch back to GL responsibility. See, operating units can be created from HR, can be created from supply chain module, can be created from finance module, that is from GL. Navigation to create business group, operating units. You have to go to your ledger. If you remember, in the last session, we have set up ledger. Go to the ledger, setup, financials, accounting setup manager, accounting setup. Setup, financials, accounting setup manager, accounting setups. Can we find our ledger now, or do I need to go with create accounting setup option? We can find because we have already created. And I got my ledger here, Honor ledger. Click on update accounting options. Click on this update accounting options, and you get under ledger setup, under your Honor ledger setup, you got an option called operating units. You see your operating units, and here you will be adding operating units. Click on update. Click on update and add operating units from here. After you click on update, you got the option to click on add operating units. Click on add operating unit to add operating units. Name of the operating unit, Honor Electronic, Hyderabad. Short code, will take it as HE. Honor Electronic Hyderabad. So you can take anything. It's a free text, right? And business group you need to select here. As I told you, When you create operating unit, system asks you business group. That is why we have created business group before operating unit, so that we can select business group here. And then default legal context, it is nothing but legal entity. So you need to link legal entity to this operating unit, because every operating unit you define, it is a part of some legal entity, isn't it? So that is why you have to link legal entity here. Honor Electronics. See, which legal entity you want me to link, electronic or IT services? Electronics. Why electronics? Because this operating unit has created for electronics company. So of course it is a part of electronics, not IT services, right? Click on apply. Same way, you want to add more, click on add operating unit again. Your operating unit name, Honor Electronic Delhi. Business group. And again, I'll link with electronics company. We'll create more. Honor IT Services, Hyderabad. Honor IT Services, Hyderabad. Okay. Which legal entity? IT Services. So this way you can add all the operating units provided by your business or client. Okay. And then click on complete. Once you add all operating units, click on complete. Done. Operating units are added. Now, after a year or after some months, business started a new operating unit. Business started one more new operating unit. So where do you add? You can come to operating units anytime from the ledger, update, add operating unit, and you can add anytime. Anytime you can add operating unit, and that operating unit you can use it for the transactions. Clear? So we are done with adding operating units to the ledger. And we have linked with the business group and operating units. Sorry, legal entities. Now we have business group, ledger, legal entities, operating units. Isn't it? These four we have, isn't it? Now let's start working on. Let's talk about end user level. End user want to work on some company, like end user want to work on, or end user is working on Honor Electronics company. How do you provide access to it? Like how a user is going to get access to data. We have a ledger setup. Can I work on this ledger? No, I can't. No user can work on this ledger. Even I can't work on this ledger. I want to create journals, I can't create. I can create journals only if I get the access. See, we did a setup of ledger, we did a setup of legal entities, we did a setup of operating units and business group. But access is not provided anywhere. Did I provide access anywhere? No, I did setup, but access is not provided. Now we are going to do access, we are going to provide access to the, we'll provide access. At what level we provide access, we'll decide that. See, access normally we have option to provide at 4 levels, but one we follow. Okay, but you have in system, you have 4 levels. I'll write all the 4, I'll explain all the 4. Site. Okay, before I discuss about this 4, there are something called profile options. In Oracle is provided profile options, profiles. Because of profile, yes, your Oracle software is working. For example, we are writing dates. What is the format you are seeing for date? Date, month, and year, right? 2 characters for date, 3 characters for month, and 4 characters for year. Date, month, and year, isn't it? This format you are seeing everywhere. I mean, every form or any form I write date. You are saying date, month, and year. You want to change the format. If you want to change the format, company says, I don't want this format. I want date format in other way. So how to change? You can do that changes from the profiles. See, like date, there are many things which are working, which are defaulted because of profiles. There are many things which are defaulted because of profile setup. So all these profile setups are done by Oracle. You want any changes, then you have to do it. And profile options access will not be under you. It will be under only system administrator. Because changing date format cannot done by you. See, if you change date format, it is not only for the finance. You can do decision making only for finance, not for the entire application, right? Can we decide for the entire application being a finance consultant? No. So profiles, that is why profile access is not given to you. It will be given to system administrator. He will take care of any profile. You want to set up any profile, you have to send request to the administrator, and he'll be setting up profiles for you. Okay. So understand what is profile. Profile options also you can say. Your system, your Oracle software is working because of profile options. There are many things default. There are many things controlling through profile options. If you change profile option, your application performance will change directly. It will impact to the application performance. Like I said, if I change date format, entire application level it changed. The performance of date format will change at entire application level. Right? You want to post entries or you don't want to post. It is not only for the response. It is not only for one company, for the entire software. Entries for the entire software server. You want to post entries or you don't want to post. You decide from profile. Everything at application level is decided by profile from Oracle. Now, to provide organization access also, we use profile. We use some profiles. See, there are thousands of profiles given by Oracle, not one. See, application is very big. It is not small. So I said many things defaults, many things operating because of profiles, right? So there are many. There are many profiles are given by Oracle and set up by Oracle. We are going to provide organization access through profiles only. There is only one option, through profiles only you can do. Without profiles, you can't provide access to any you can't provide access to any user. This organization access can be provided through profiles. Okay. Running between access to the user organization access to the user is through profile options. So through profile options, you have to link organization with the to work by user. I mean, user is going to work on organization. You have to provide access through profiles. Now, I'll come to the 4-level profile options part. Sorry, access part. You have option to provide organization access at 4 levels. You have option to provide organization access at 4 levels. Site, application, user responsibility. Site, it is considered as complete Oracle applications. Application, any one application, any one. Okay, like you can assign to GL, AP, AR, FA, or cash management, or inventory, or purchasing, or order management, or human resource, individually for the module, for the application. User level, username level, you can say. Responsibility, each single responsibility level. Yeah. Let's take example here. We have a ledger called Honor Ledger. We have one more ledger. I said, right, we can use multiple ledgers if you want. Honor Ledger 1. We have these two ledgers. Imagine we have these two ledgers created in system. Okay. Now, if you have decided to go with site, whatever you assign at site level, whichever the organization, ledger is also one of the organizations, right? If you assign ledger at site level, that ledger can only access by every user of this, who are working on this software. Every user who are working on this software, all users can access only that ledger. Let's say if I assign Honor Ledger, all the users of my company or who are working on the software, no matter 3 companies, 10 companies, 20 companies, every user can access only one ledger. This ledger no one can access, because whatever you assign, it is complete software level. Complete Oracle applications is nothing but complete software. And you can assign only one at one time, not multiple at one time. You can assign multiple also in some cases. Okay, but one at multiple also you have to group and you have to assign. Either all you can access or single. That is how it is. Site level. So site level, whatever you assign, that can access by all employees who are working on the software. So what do you advise? Site level, do you advise to provide organization access, or you don't? You say no. Site level is not advised. We'll go for second option. What do you say? Yes, online. What do you guys say?
We don't provide site level.
Site level we don't provide. Site level we provide, profile options which are set up by Oracle company at site level, like date format, journals posting, maximum invoices can create in an application, the capacity of the database they decide. So these all are done at site level, but not organization access. Whatever is required for the entire software, that you do at site level. And those are done at site level by Oracle company. Okay, so I don't advise to to provide organization access at site level. I don't go with, when I do implementation, I don't go with site level. Now application level. What do you think? Application level we do or we don't? one particular application. Let's say you have assigned to GL ledger, you have assigned to GL, that entire GL application works for only single ledger. In application, GL module is only one. No matter 10 companies are using, 20 companies are using, GL module is only one. The entire GL module works for that single ledger. What do you say? The advice and the
Shashank, I think responsibility level would be the best one.
Yes. So, Arvind, you know, because you're working, but others they don't know, right? So let me explain one by one.
Okay.
Because they need to know why we don't do at application level, right? So application level also we don't do, because if you do at application level, that entire application work for only one ledger, and there may be hundreds of companies are working on application, or more than one companies are working on application, and there may be multiple ledgers are there. So I don't advise to go with application level assignment also. User level. We have a user created, Honor. If I assign access to this Honor user, all this responsibility work for that single ledger. But there are cases a user may work for this responsibility some ledger. For other responsibility, there might be some other ledger. Other responsibility, there might be some other ledger, right? Isn't it? So different responsibility, maybe user work for different ledger. There are cases, isn't it? So that is why we don't do at user level also, do at responsibility level. Each individual responsibility, you can have a different organization access. A user, each responsibility can have different organization access. If you do at responsibility level, one user having different responsibilities can work on different organizations. That is why we always advise to do this organization access setup through profiles at responsibility level. And today you have assigned one organization. Tomorrow you want to change. Go to that responsibility through profiles and change the access. You can change organization access anytime from the profiles when using profiles. So I said there are many profiles, thousands of profiles, right? Do you know the profile names? You don't know, of course. Those who are working, they will know, but I'll write profile names here. For business group, there is a profile called HR. Security profile. With this HR security profile, you can access multiple business group if you are grouping multiple business group and providing access. Okay. And then ledger, GL ledger name. See, multiple ledgers also we can access, but there is a profile for that. Right now we have only one ledger. In future, I'm going to set up more ledgers, and then I'll show you how to group through profiles, and how to group multiple ledgers and how to provide access to the multiple ledgers from one responsibility. Legal entity, there is no profile because all the legal entities are linked with ledger. So we don't do legal entity assignment. If you get a ledger access, you got a ledger access to work for a company. Of course, you require a company access. Now, a ledger is having 10 companies, let's say. 10 companies are associated to the ledger. In 10, you want to provide access to only one. Then you can do security in the GL responsibility. For that, you don't require to go with profiles. Profiles cannot decide legal entity access to create data. Directly from the ledger, you can define restrictions so that user don't access legal entities on which user is not working. Operating unit, there is a profile called MO. MO is nothing but multi-organization. MO operating unit. See, MO operating unit, it is to access this profile. We do assignment of this profile for single operating unit access. Single operating unit access. This profile is for single operating unit access. MO security profile. This for multi-operating unit access. If you want to access multiple operating units, you go with security profile. Clear? So these are the 4 profiles normally we need to know as a financial. You don't do it, but still you need to know these 4 profiles. More than these 4, but those you are going to see in future. As of now, we are doing organization setup, and these 4 profiles are part of organization setup. That is why I am discussing on these 4. So these 4 profiles you need to know for organization setup and to provide access to the user at responsibility level. And see guys, even you do assignment at site level or application level or user level or responsibility level, the profile is same. Do not think that for site there is a different profile, for application there is a different profile, for user there is a different profile, for responsibility there is a different profile. Profile name is same. You decide at what level you want to do. Okay. So let's do this profile options. You have to go to system administrator. We have a system administrator attached to this response user, right? Switch to system administrator. You have to switch to system administrator. Profile, system. You have to go to profile and system. You want to do at site level, select site. See, site level, we don't have anything to select, but for application, you have option to select. Why? Because site is entire application. So when I say entire application, there is nothing to select, right? Complete application is not, there is nothing to select. More than application, there is nothing. So that is why if for site, you don't have any field to select. But for application, you have field to select because there are many applications. GL, AP, AR, FA, CM, right? That is why you got the option. And you want to do at application level, you select application. You want to do responsibility level, you select responsibility. What is our responsibility name? Honor. See guys, in company, there are, let's say Amazon, such a big company, there are thousands, not thousands, there are lakhs of employees working. So every employee working on some responsibility. So every employee responsibility is different. Let's say, for example, so every responsibility level, they have to provide access. Now 10 employees working on same responsibility, same organization, same responsibility. So they create one responsibility, they provide organization access, and that one responsibility can provide access to 10 users. Because same organization, same responsibility. So one responsibility access to 10 users because they are working on single organization. I mean, whatever the organization is. Clear? So we have selected one of the responsibility. One of the responsibility you have to select here. See how many responsibilities I have created? 6. From 6, I have selected AP responsibility here. And for business group will come one by one. Business group assignment, HR security profile. I'll use this HR security profile to complete access of business group assignment. Click on find, and here you assign business group. Save. Now here, this business group is linked with this responsibility. So from this responsibility, whatever you work, you are working for business group. I mean, under this business group. This responsibility is controlling under this business group. Group is linked with this responsibility, and this responsibility is controlling under the business group. Save. And for multi-organization, it is compulsory that you have to assign business group. If you don't assign business group, organization access, responsibility don't get organization access. Now one by one we select all the responsibilities and we assign business group here. Then next, GL ledger name. See this GL ledger name, it is to access ledger. When we do transactions, we need a ledger data for accounting, maybe for accounting calendar, in case anywhere it is required. For currency, right? You need ledger access, or you don't need. For this all, we need. So that is why we do ledger assignment also to profile. And the profile name is GL ledger name. On a ledger. So one by one, you have to assign it to all responsibilities. See, every time you assign to each responsibility, you have to save it first. After you save, click on find, you will go back and then change the responsibility. And then again, you have to assign ledger. I mean, whatever organization you want, you need to assign and then save it. After you save, click on find, you go back and then change the responsibility. Assign, save it, click on find, and you go back. So this way you have to assign to all responsibilities. Now single operating unit access you want to provide, MO operating unit. See, in MO operating unit, you got two profiles, MO default operating unit, MO operating unit. This default operating unit we use for multiple. Multi-organization. Let's say, for example, let's say we have 3 operating units. Actually, we have 3. Honor operating unit 1, 2, 3. So user got 3 operating unit access. Now user want to create an invoice. User open invoice. In default, let's say we have 2 profiles, right? MO operating unit and default operating unit. If you assign here, though you got a multi-operating unit access, this operating unit will open as a default. And then you can change if you want. To get one of the operating unit as default from multiple, we use this default operating unit option. But as you got multiple operating unit access, you can change if you want. When it comes to MO operating unit, see, though you use MO operating unit, you can access multiple operating units if you assign this MO security profile. But no operating unit will open as default in MO operating unit. If you do default, that operating unit will come as a default on every form you open to work with operating unit. But in MO operating unit, no operating unit is going to come as default because this is not a profile for default. Clear? You will get a blank field and you select the one you want. Then now the last profile is, let us assign this multi-operating unit access also so that we can access multiple operating units. Profile name is MO security profile. MO security profile, we need to assign to the responsibility, and whichever the responsibility you assign this MO security profile, from that responsibility you can access multiple operating units, all the operating units which are existing in system. And here we assign business group because operating units are grouped under this business group, right? So you allocate this business group or you attach to this business group, and all operating units under this business group can access. Guys, one more thing, those who are practicing on server, the Arts Education provided server, some people, what they do, not my candidates also maybe, they do assignment at site level. It happened most of the time, some other trainer candidates, maybe he don't explain why we don't do at site level. That is why they directly go to site and they change me at site level. And my students, they ask me a question or the query that we are not able to access our organization. We are seeing some other organization because someone assigned at site level. So whatever is there at site level, that is, that access, that organization only can access at entire software level. So who all are practicing on the server, they access only one, which is assigned at site level. So that is why I said, do not change anything at site level. Let it be, there is something. And do the assignment at responsibility level. Don't make others into trouble. Those who are practicing on server, do the assignment at responsibility level. In real time also, we do at responsibility level. Done. We are done with all profile assignments which are required for this organization. Now finally, we have to run one concurrent program to work on organization, that is replicate seed data. See, what is this replicate seed data? We have an organization setup, right? Now, if I work on application, like I want to go to AP, I want to go to AP and I want to start working on AP. But before I create invoice or before I make payments and all in AP, there are some AP setups those I need to complete. Without completing AP module setup, basic setups, I can't use AP module. Same way before AR basic setups, I can't use AR module. No transactions can be created, no receipts, no payments, nothing. If you want to use AP, AR or any other module, subledger module, then you have to do replicate seed data concurrent program. So what is this replicate seed data? What is replicate seed data? See, there are many. Everything you don't define. Understand? Everything we don't define. There are many things are provided by Oracle. There are many things are provided by Oracle. Like example. Now in AP I am doing some setup. I'm just taking example. In AP we have an option invoice term date. Like payment term date, when do you want to start counting? From the date you receive invoice or from invoice date or from goods, from the date you have received goods or system date you want to follow. And you have to choose one of the option from it. So there are standard data that is provided by Oracle. Apart from that standard, if you want any data, then you can define. So I want that standard data provided by Oracle, I want to replicate to my organization so that I can use that data. I can use that data when I do setups in AP, AR, any subledger module. Okay, Oracle provided existing data. We are going to copy. Replicate is nothing but copying, right? We are going to copy to our organization. Clear? Oracle provided seeded data. Seeded data is already there. That seeded information we are going to replicate to our organization. And that you can do only from system administrator. That concurrent program can be run only from system administrator. Come to system administrator, view. See, so far, whatever concurrent programs are submitted, requests are submitted by software, and it was running by software and completed by software. This is the first program we are submitting now. This is the first request we are submitting in application. This is the first request we are submitting in application to copy data, to replicate data, seeded data to our organization. Navigation to run, view, request, submit a new request. If you find, you can see all the requests which were running in the backend while creating setups. These all requests submitted by system while creating setups. But now we need a new setup. I mean, we need to submit a new request. Click on submit a new request. Click on submit a new request. And a request set is multiple request set. Multiple requests can be run. A set of requests, but we are submitting single request now. Go with single request and click OK. Click OK. And the request name is replicate seed data. and you have to see, we have to run at parameter level. So I told you, right, all subledger modules we work at operating unit level. Subledger modules we work at operating unit level, right? So you have to run this replicate seed data at operating unit level. Honor Electronic Hyderabad. You can run for each operating unit. Click OK and submit. Submit another request. No, as of now, I'll run only for Hyderabad. Click on find. See, once you click on find, the request is running here and it is running in normal status. You have to wait till it get completed normal. If it get completed normal, data replicated. It will take 3-4 minutes of time. So meanwhile, just for 2 to 3 minutes, we will do the recap of all the things we have done, starting from ledger setup, chart of account. See, we have started setting up ledger first after creating responsibilities and user. And the first thing you need to set up is calendar, that we have done. To set up calendar, set up from GL. Set up financials, calendars, type. First, you have to define a type, how many periods you want, and the type of year. We have selected calendar year, save the information, and close. And then go to accounting, and here you have to define your calendar. Calendar with 12 periods, 13 periods if you write 13 periods. Jan, Feb. And when you're defining calendar, just remember that you can't miss even a single day. Even a single day you're missing, system don't allow you to use that calendar. Dates cannot be replicated. Dates can be replicated only if you're taking adjustment period. Only if you're taking adjustment periods, date can be replicated. Duplicate dates. Dates can be overlapped. Okay. So this is how we define calendar. And then currency, we don't define currency, we just enable currency. And to enable currency, set up currencies define. And whatever currencies you want here, you can enable. If you write directly currency here, it says already existing. Okay. So you have to find here INR. Whatever currencies you want, you just have to make sure that this is enabled. And then after currency you enable, we have started defining chart of account. There are 3 steps to complete chart of account setup: value sets, segments, and then values. Setup, financials, flex fields, validation, sets. Name of the value set. And list type, always go with list of values. Security type, go with non-hierarchical security. I've already explained the reason. Data format, always go with character, because we create data in character. Maximum size, you can decide as you want. Uppercase, you want alphabets, then go with this uppercase. Numeric, then go with numbers. You want alphanumeric, then don't enable anything. And validation type, always keep it as independent. We'll see dependent also how it works in future. Like this, you have to create 5 value sets if you are using 5 segments. 6 value sets if you are using 6 segments. 4 value sets if you are using 4 segments. And then we create segments.
One question, Shashank.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
for account, like we first created a value set, national account value set, and then later, like we used a standard operational account value set, right?
Yes,
So why you,
because Govind, I've shown you how to create, but to create all accounting values, it takes a lot of time for me. It is after showing you how to create, I've removed it. I'm using the one I've created, or at least provided. Clear, Govind?
okay, 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 sure.
So which application we select here? GL, accounting flex field as title, right? And we create chart of account here, adding new, add a structure name, and then go to segments, create segments. So let's find the one we have created. For our chart of account, it was unfreezed. You have to add all segments, whatever you want, and attach value set. For accounts, you can also take operations account. You can also take operations account for accounts, because every time you need account, first time you take operations account, but for the second time when you practice, create your own value set and create all accounting values. Okay. And for company, make sure that balancing segment, 2 qualifiers are mandatory: company balancing segment, accounts, natural accounts segment. Okay. And then you can select as you require. You can select separator, segment separator. Allow dynamic inserts. Make sure that this is enabled. Yesterday, Jay, you were asking about qualifier. So I said natural account qualifier is missing. I mean, one of the qualifier is missing. So I think it was missing. That is why you are not able to save your data account.
Yes, correct.
And coming to Govind, you have not enabled allow dynamic inserts. That is why you are not able to create combination.
Yes, Shashank. After I enabled it, I was able to create it.
Yeah. And then you have to freeze. Always remember, once your chart of account is completed, you have to freeze and compile. And then you define values. Go to values. You can go with value set if you remember value set name. Honor company. Fine. And here you define values as you want, code as you want, and then the description of that code. And always make sure that all of budgeting, all of posting, you have to keep it as yes for every value you create. Same way you create values for every segment. Okay. In case of accounting value set also you have created and you are using that, then you have to select even account type, right? Accounting value set, accounting, if you are using yours value set, then you remember, I have discussed about it. You have to select accounting type also, isn't it? This way you create values, and then once you complete this values creation, then your chart of account is ready to use. What next we do? Ledger setup. Setup, financials, accounting setup manager, accounting setups. Click on create accounting setup. First option is assign legal entity. Click on create legal entity, and you can create legal entities here, whatever legal entities you want to create and assign. So after you create legal entity, like once you click on create legal entity, you get an option to provide legal entity name, organization name, identifier code, legal entity identification code, all this, legal address. After you provide all these details, you save legal entity, and then you add legal entity using this add another row. And then click on next, and you create your ledger name, and you attach chart of account, calendar, currency, whatever you want, and subledger accounting method. Always go with standard approvals. Reporting currency I have not explained. I mean, I said we are going to work on this reporting currency in future. And then click on next and complete. I mean, finish. So after you click on finish, it will ask you to set up ledger options, right? So ledger options we also have here. Once you click on ledger options, you come to this page. And here I said in ledger setup steps, there was a ledger option here before. Now it is showing Honor ledger. You need to update this, and you need to update retained earning. Without this retained earning, you can't use ledger, isn't it? You need to update retained earning account, and then click on finish. I mean next and finish. Don't touch any other setup. You are going to learn that in future. Whatever setups are required, you will learn that in future.
So here at legal entity level, it says like balancing segment value is not specified. So here is it?
We are going to do that in future.
Okay.
Okay. And then you get a complete option of the retained earning account. Now you are not seeing it because already we have completed this ledger setup. You click on complete and you complete your ledger setup. And then next, we create business group. As you saw today, you have to go to HR and create business group. And then you come back to ledger, GL, and you go to ledger and you define. What do you define from ledger? Operating units. And then through profiles, we do organization access at responsibility level, and then replicate seed data finally. Okay, let's see replicate seed data is completed or not. New request and find. Yep. Yeah, here it is. Completed normal. Okay, completed normal. See, these all requests system run after replicate seed data. Why? Because we have unfreezed chart of account and freezed again and compiled. That is why this program system run this program whenever you unfreeze. And this is replicate seed data and completed normal. We have organization setup ready to work. Okay. Tomorrow I'll complete inventory organization setup. It will take 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And once we complete inventory organization, we'll start GL immediately. We are going to complete organization setup tomorrow in first 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And then immediately, I'll be starting this GL module training. First, in GL, first we do basic journals, like how to create journals, how to post journals, what is reversal, journal reversal, what is suspense account, how to use. All about journals first, and then we go to advanced journals, and then we go to other topics of GL, like consolidation, budgets, approvals. These all topics we'll do after basic journals, advanced journals. Any questions before I close?
Replicate seed data we have to run for the remaining OUs as well, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not doing it because I'll use only Hyderabad to create data. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
When you practice, you can do at all operating unit level. Okay. But one by one. First, you have to see completed for one operating unit, then submit for other. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any questions? Yeah, any questions? Vijaya, Anil, Arvind, Jay, Govind, Rao, Samir, Siddharth.
No question.
Yeah.